Hi there, welcome back to S2 of the old French merchant house. We're just going to go fix the doors and latches and make these beautiful old vintage locks work again. So let's get to it. Okay, let's start on this. The first thing I can do is cut out these, mind you don't go down into your finger there. And you want to scrape out this paint first. You want to get this lock out easily without ruining the screws. Up is always better. Can you see me? See, look at the paint on here, look. Look at that. There should be no paint on that. Just a little masking tape when you're painting, and there would have been no problems. But no. The craftsman thing is kind of being lost slowly, I think. And there she goes. Now these locks are fitted in an interesting way. They've got screws on the side, most of them, so you can repair them, which is great. But you have to take the shaft out to get them out, which is normal. Look at that. As they say in French, voila! Now I want to try to do as little damage. It's not my house, so do as little damage as I can to this. I tried to do that to my own house. So I've taken the pin out over here, and you just pull the knob off and this should come out. There we go. You can see I had it out earlier on, fixing the handle itself. And now this key has to come out, of course. We've got to get the paint off this key as well, make it look clean. We'll bring the whole lock back to its original state if we can. Sometimes these things pop easy and sometimes they don't. Now, I'm a bit worried about this paint here. So, that I'll crack too much of it. So what I usually do is take a knife and run it around it like this. Last thing I want to do is a painting job as well. Right? Just to cut the paint from cracking on the off on the sides. Oh, that went well. This one's cracked a little. Oops, whoops, whoops. Yeah, stay by the metal, guy. It'll help pop it as well. Yeah, I'm going to have to pry that a bit underneath here. Being real, oh, there she goes. Bit of paint loss there. I can't do anything about that. And there we go. There's the box, which we're going to open up and see what's wrong and see if we can get it working. But we'll take this back to the workshop. Needs cleaning, I bet you. Looks like it's been in there 100 years, a couple 100 years. Now, there's a screw on the side of the box here, which tells me, abracadabra, it's amazing, one screw to hold it all together, the spring loads and everything. You have to love them. The box is really dirty. Looks like it's been there since the 17th century or something. So, just to help myself here. You know, I used to be in maintenance, but I don't like the grease. There she goes. It's already open. It nearly fell open. Alright, lovely old black grease in here. And here is the kicker for the door handle. Oh, there's no connector in it. That's very strange. This is the spring. There's a box. Oh, the spring's supposed to push that up like that. This spring is supposed to be up there. Ah, nice and dirty. I'm just going to put on gloves and we'll clean this. Just one moment. Yeah, we're just going to take paper towels at the moment because I'm just wiping the grease out. And we're going to get rid of all this stuff in here. The spring is supposed to be loaded right up against that like that. And something cracked off the back here by the look of it. If it is a spring at all anymore. It's not spring loading anymore, that's for sure. Yeah, there's no piece coming out the back at all. It should hitch on to that bar there and press that up like that, and then you have this. Right? So the spring's broken, which I kind of guessed. Oh, this is only my second one I've been doing. Learning as I go along. Look at this gook here. Oh. Yeah, let's paint the whole lock inside as well while we're at it. I'm going to put some just white spirits in here. You can clean these out. You don't have to re-grease them. You can just put WD-40 on them. I mean, the grease was nice, but it was a bit overkill. Sometimes they actually slowed the mechanism down. There was so much dirt grease in there. Look at it. And you know, they got it paint on the side of the locks. Now you wonder why that doesn't lock, huh? And I can't even move it. Whatever's going on there, we'll find out in a minute. So this key comes up and pushes this, obviously. Does something. Supposed to push that forward, I think. Not going to push anything forward the way it is at the moment. It might loosen out yet, we'll see. Anyways, I'll just clean this for a little while. You can see what we're up to. You can also put it in kind of like a old cooking pot and put a whole pile of white spirits on, use a toothbrush or something. I'm just doing it this way because I'm not in any hurry. It's locked down. COVID lockdown again. Lovely. So I have plenty of time. So I'll just keep cleaning this away for a while, and I'll take a little knife and scrape some of this off and see if we can... There, look at it. It's going to look lovely. I'm not too sure why this isn't working. We can tap it and see. There it is, look. It's trying to work. Well, slightly paint and everything else. Well, look at that. I have her up. Yeah, we'll clean that up and file it a bit. I'm going to clean this off, this paint here. It doesn't look too bad. It's a little rusty on this side. You can use a rag. Oh, that fell out now. Look at the paint on the back of that striker there, look, in here. No wonder they don't run, you know, smoothly. People couldn't put all they gotta do is put a masking tape over this, you know, when they're painting. You ever see a painter doing that? Tell him to cop himself on. Alright, we'll try to loosen this out a bit. Beginning to loosen. You know, sometimes you just take a file and give it a quick scrape here, like a little rub, and things start really moving. Beginning to loosen out. The back end looks messy too. I might take that out and just clean it all together if I can get it out here. Might as well take the whole lock apart now that I'm at it. There we go. Yay. Not too sure what this does here yet. Just hope it's not broke as well. Anyways, I'm just going to clean these up a bit. File or sand this little and we'll see where we're going. And this, get everything clean first. Yeah, I'm just cleaning, got this fairly clean. I'm just cleaning these parts off a little with paper towels. I'm afraid I don't have too many rags. I got one there, but I'll use that for finishing because I just don't have that many rags anymore. Because of not being able to buy them down at the store, I suppose. You know, we're in lockdown, you just have to do with what you got. So use paper towels first, that's pretty clean. I'll give that a wipe with the other one now in a minute. So we'll do them all like that, all these parts. This is the door handle piece. I have a spring here that's not working, so I have no idea what I'm going to do with that yet. Although I did do a different thing earlier on, I'll try it again, I'll show you it. This is the famous door handle piece itself. So, you know, I'm getting there. It's messy, isn't it? It's not hard to fix, really. And it's not that technical, you know, people go on about it, but it's a pretty basic lock. Right, so just scratch this off a little, you know, the paint off a little here and that. Clean this up a little more. Wash out a little more, we're ready to go. We'll put her back together. A little tip is, you know, you can leave a little black in here, you know, whatever. I've cleaned it pretty good. There's a little dust in there, but it won't kill anything. But you want to do the strike front here, nice and clean. This latch nice and clean, and the front of the bolt nice and clean, because it'll all show afterwards. And that's what you want. You want to keep everything. Let's get that in there. There. You want to keep it all nice and clean in the front here, so it looks really nice. So that's what I'm working on at the moment. I'm just sanding and polishing them a little bit. So when I'm done, especially for you guys, I look like I know what I'm doing. Right? They're all functioning. Now we got to get them working with spring loads. And latch, and the paddle lock. It's obvious that this piece is for the key to spring load it, you know, the way it kind of jerks a bit, and it obviously goes onto this here because it fits, right? So we'll put a little WD-40 on that for the time being there, a little here, right? And it goes on here, and this goes into, there's a little notch here, and obviously this springs into there somehow. There we go. And then the plate comes on top. My pre-thing guess is, oh, which way does this go? There we go. And you know, if we're lucky, our first problem will be solved, and that's the lock. Let's see. Isn't that nice? Oh, I gotta clean that end a bit more, you know, polish it. Make myself look like a pro here. Oh, okay, now we gotta work out this, how to do this famous spring load, which is bust. COVID time, I tell you. So I have a spring here. It's obviously cracked off. I can see the bottom of the spring actually. See that there? That's the end of the spring. Now just gonna pan around, if I can, on this thing and show you what I've taken off my light here. There's the light. That's the light. There's a spring here. Comes down here like the two above. Yeah, I'm taking the light away from the video now. See, oh, I'll go up a bit more. Yeah, I've taken one of these springs off my light, and I'm going to try to fit it. Yeah, so I've taken the spring off my light, and I'm going to fit it in behind here by pulling it and put it in here, and this will create a spring load, so we hope. So I'll just pull this apart a little and we'll see how this fits in and how we're going to fix it there. So I'm thinking of putting this spring over the side here and cutting a little notch so the plate holds it in. Now if I wedge it in here at the moment where this is right now and I cut it here, it looks like I have a spring load, right, which is all I need. So I'm going to cut it right here with the Dremel, with the diamond blade, right? I'm going to cut it right here. Alright, now that, turn this off so you can hear, that fits in like this. And I put a notch through here now in this casing. Oh, sorry. That's only because I don't have the cover on, so let's not panic. It looks funny, but it's not. Whew. Okay, I want that to go over that casing like that. That to be in there. Case is going to press down on this. And we have a latch, right? So all I got to do is mark this casing here where I want the spring to go. Get something a bit more like a diamond. As you can look there, I'm going to mark that at that angle and put the spring in it. Right there where that end of that is. See that mark there? I'll put the spring in that and then we'll close the casing on it. Maybe a little bit over that way, a bit more. About there, say. So let's cut that. And I see it there. About like that. That's where I want it to go. A little bit further angle. That should nearly take the spring. So I got this little slot in here now, see? And it should take the spring when I load it right in. I don't know how I had it exactly, but there we go. It's nearly taking it. It's got a little bit more to go. Yeah, a little bit of bending maybe would do it. But there we go. That'll hold it in. I want it to be a little deeper, but I think I'm going to use my little file here to do that for a sec and see if it's a better way to do it. Now I quite like that. Spring back in again. I'll be an expert at this by the time I'm finished. Now if I can juggle this around a little, that'll go right in there, as you can see, into that. It's either back or forward. Right? And then I'll cut the end of the spring off when I'm done. Kind of like that. Now this has to go in, which is your pusher for your door. Now if I'm not mistaken, if we get a screwdriver, if I can find one, there we go. And I do this, I gotta hold everything in place, right? Just so the spring in that don't pop up. Look at that. Isn't that nice? So I'm happy with that. Now we'll give it a bit of a spray for the fun of it, especially underneath that lock thing. You can put grease in there if you feel better. Some, older guys like myself. I'm not a grease person, but some people do like the grease. Now, this plate goes on and then the screw, which I have here somewhere. You don't see any of this packaging stuff here, or this outside stuff, when you put it back in the door. So it's more a mechanical thing. Everything's definitely a little old here and worn. Almost like maybe 200 years before this thing was opened before. Now, let's take a screwdriver and check it out before we take it in. Oh, I'll turn it the other way there. I mean, that's quite nice. Oh, I got the spring sticking out still, which got to be locked in. Right, I got to just cut that off. And our key, wherever that is, I don't think that's the key for it. I wonder, does it work in it? Nope, different key. The key goes in, and so there you go, you fixed your first lock. How easy was that? See? Okay, I'll just cut that spring off with the Dremel, with the diamond blade, so it's not sticking out in the middle of nowhere. It's sticking out a little bit, but it'll be okay. I won't cut it off right at the end. I'll cut it off a little bit so there's a bit of a tail. Yeah, I might have to file that a bit more. Still popping out a bit. I'll just take off the lid, file that down a little bit more so it's well in. And that's a little wide here and a little split there. It's a little, sorry, I'm going to say that again. There's a little split here because this is pushing it up. So I'm going to take this off and just file that in a little bit more, or grind it a bit more, so we don't have that, so it fits in the door. Now, it's all set. I had to grind the back of the bottom of the screw off a little bit more and bend the plate a little. It's still a little bent out. I might do it a bit more. That concerns me a little, but I think it's going to be okay. Right? A little crack there, but I straightened it quite a bit. I don't think the spring can come out anymore. That's what's important. We should go in. I'm only thinking that the spring might hit and keep this out, but I'm going to fit it and find out. But everything's working great, and the key's working. We'll just clean off the key a little. You know, this paint on it. Let's get rid of this awful paint so it looks original, and we'll be ready to go. Always something. Yeah, I'll just scrape away at this for a couple of minutes and we'll get this key nice and clean looking. If I can find everything. I can't find my sandpaper at the moment. Okay, we're going to take this back outside and fit it back on the hallway door. So we're back at the door, and this is going to go in here, of course. Right? Now the only thing is, will the door close? I don't know. We'll screw it in and see. So let's try this once more. Now I have the strike facing in. And it actually went together better for some reason because of it. So it goes to show you. Ooh, I got it at the bottom then. Oops, trying to do this so you can see it in the camera a bit. Put it down a little. There you go. So I just put this back in after turning the strike around. This has to be well in so the door closes. I need a handle on this just to see if it closes. The famous. It's jamming a bit. I think it's down here a bit, but we're getting close. Yep. So we put on our door handle. Now it's a leverage type, so it's supposed to face down when you press down. And the knob over here, like that, the twist knob. The little nail down through. There, and you know, it closes and jams. See, it does close. That's because the door is bent. And I'll show you a trick for that. So, right? Just got to get a Dremel.